Johnny?
Hi, yes, there we go.
It's Kathleen. Do you remember that we met in Bulgaria?
I do. I remember that face. I can see you.
Yeah.
Hi, Cameron.
Hey, how are you?
You?
Have you two met before?
No, I don't think so anyway.
No?
No. Good to meet you.
Today's the
You
day, right?
Oh.
You two have at least three things in common, and one is ice, the second is aerodynamic clothing, and the third is that you have to prepare for hours and hours and hours for basically a handful of competitive minutes. So my first question is, how do you train a mind to operate at its peak for 3 or 4 minutes? Johnny, why don't you start?
It's a crapshoot. You have so much physical preparation and so many things that you put your body through, and mentally you have to be conscious of what you're doing, but at the same time, if you're always in your head and always thinking about what you're doing, you kind of miss that moment. And figure skating is different than any other sport because we constantly are thinking about judges and audience and things like that. We're not racing against a stopwatch. So it's really easy to kind of drown in your thoughts and drown in your head. But for me, it was always the best when I didn't think, when my body was on autopilot and I just kind of went zombie.
Cameron, same for you, or a different process?
You know, it's funny because our sports, there are some aspects of our sports that are obviously very different, but I would say that is exactly the same for me. And, you know, luge, you're on the track for less than a minute, and at the Olympics it's 4 combined runs, the combined time of 4 runs is the winner. But those years that you spend preparing all of the times down the track, all of the hundreds of thousands of times you practice the start, you prepare your body, and then when you get on the track, you need to just let all of that go and just sort of be in the moment. And luge, it's so fast that you really just sort of have to be kind of one with the sled and let it go. So totally agree.
Well, you're both small business owners to some extent right now too. Johnny, you're still a little bit more 1 foot in competition still, but I want to ask, bouncing that 10, 15 years forward now, is that ability to do that with your brain, does that translate into what you're doing now, do you think? Or once you're out of competition, does that ability and that skill go away?
I think being an Olympian and being a sportsman from a really young age, and I didn't even start as young as most ice skaters do. I started when I was 12, but you immediately have to understand the value of a dollar. You have to understand public presentation. You have to understand how to maximize the time that you actually spend working and creating. And for me, I'm not technically established in the business world yet. I'm still trying to do as many things as I possibly can in this year since my last Olympics to just kind of find out who I am outside of the competitive arena. But I'm trying to do everything that's possible. The fact that I have hardcore day-by-day training from figure skating, it can only really help me in the business world and in creating Johnny Weir the brand, because above all of my crazy sound bites and outfits and my public persona,
crazy?
I'm a very driven...
No, not crazy.
Well, I'm quoting others, but yes, my very out there personality, and some people can be turned off by that, which is something also I've had to learn. I'm not in my own little cubicle of figure skating anymore. I'm in meetings with major heads of business and major people, and I have to learn to kind of simmer down a minute, and that's been hard for me to do, but because of my discipline, I can completely get in there and be one with the businessmen in suits. But it'll never go away. I have my training.
Cameron, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think I'm maybe one more transition down the road, because I retired from luge after the Olympics in 1998 and then went to law school and have spent the past 10 years practicing law in New York, most recently at an entertainment firm where I did a lot of intellectual property work, represented athletes, and was like very serious for the last 10 years, despite the fact that I have a lot of creative passion in me, and now I am pursuing some of those things. So I'm a photographer, and I do that. I think with sport and the things that I'm doing now, all of that energy and passion really comes from the same place. So it's a creative sense that is just being manifested in different ways.
We're going to pull up some photos now. Johnny, we're going to go, but I want you two again to talk to each other and tell me what you see. We're going to pull up, first of all, Johnny, why don't we pull up your dress designs? About that. Tell me about how did this come about? Where this was getting loaded here, the little black dress, correct? How did that come about?
I just the fashion world's been one of those parts of the entertainment industry that's been so open to me, more than many of the other pieces and fractions of the entertainment world. And so many designers are inviting me to their shows and craziness and sitting front row and stuff. And it only seemed natural that I design a small collection. And eDressMe.com is this great internet company, and they asked me to design this collection. It's just 6 pieces, very simple, very me. And I think the dresses are really classic and very interesting.
Okay, I think we've got one now here. Oh, there you go. Okay.
Well, I'm not wearing my own design, unfortunately, but I think the girls look stunning, and I was so excited to see how this process worked, and Joanne, the president of eDressMe, she was with me every step of the way to tell me what could and couldn't be done, and we had to design for a certain customer, a certain price point, and of course keep the Johnny Weir flair that people love about me incorporated in the dresses. And I love fashion, I live for it, and it was just this perfect kismet moment, because my manager moved across the hall from eDressMe on the west side when she moved into a new office, and she went over there one day, and it just all came together.
Nicely done.
Cameron, you've kind of launched a photography career. Is this something that you would like to do full time?
I have been doing photography for quite some time. I painted first, and then after I moved to New York, realized that my apartment wasn't nearly big enough to also be a studio. So I found that I could actually create images much like my paintings, but with a camera. So I love it. I definitely am pursuing that more now, along with a few other things, but this is definitely one of my focuses right now.
Johnny, what do you see? Can you see that photograph? What do you see in it?
I see. You know what? It's so wonderful, because I see, it's like looking in a shop window almost. I see trees. I see the yellow of the taxis, but I also see these very industrial white poles. What was this a picture of? I mean, I get lots of things from this picture.
I took this picture when I was in a car traveling. I wasn't driving; someone else was. But I think a lot of my photos somehow have captured the sense of speed that I experienced when I was on the sled. So this was in I think in New England, but while I was on the road.
I love that speed from that.
So right now we're going to pull up both of your websites,
okay.
and you can just tell me a little bit about it and what's on it and what if it's a proper expression of yourself, et cetera, et cetera. So Johnny, we're pulling up part of Johnny Weir Inc., JohnnyWeir.com.
JohnnyGweir.com is basically everything about me and what's going on with me. It's updated every day with new ventures, new scheduled shows, performances, appearances, books, songs, television programs. Everything's on there. Anything you want to know about Johnny Weir, it's on JohnnyGweir.com.
And Johnny G stands for Garvin, correct?
Yes. G stands for Garvin. That's my middle name. I cursed my parents for that.
Cameron, your photography.
Yes. So my photography is showcased on my website at CameronMyler.com, including some new works that are currently on exhibit in Florida and that were featured in a ballet that premiered a little earlier this year. So that's where you can see my stuff.
This boggles my mind. It makes me crazy that this can happen. Like a triple chat, like a threesome sort of chat situation. That's wild. And things pop up and pictures and like all the videos. I'm still fascinated by a fax machine. So
you know you can get 15 people in this room.
That's filthy.
Thank you both. Johnny, please say goodbye with your fingers. So.
Bye.
We'll see you both soon. Congratulations on everything.
Oh.
Thanks. Bye.